All right, yes, thank you everybody. Hello everybody, it's your good friend Pozzible here, and I'm here with a forgotten classic today. I can't wait to remember and review The Manhattan Project from 1986. Definitely a very different movie if there ever was one. Set somewhat in the real world, The Manhattan Project is basically a movie that was very much a movie of its time. It's 1986. To give you a ticket to history real quick, the Cold War was still rolling around, even though it would be a few years out that it was canceled. So people were still afraid of the nuclear bomb. They were still afraid of the nuclear holocaust and stuff like that. So this movie played into that fear and tried to give it a lesson. And they also, in some ways, they kind of made it into a kids show, even though technically, in some ways, it's not for kids. Nowadays, this might even get an R rating, as you'll see soon. But basically, you have a story of a young man who lives in a town. He's a genius. He's a very smart kid. Not uncommon during this time. This was the time of the genius kids. They loved to make shows like that. There was a television show, and I forget its name right now, about genius kids who solved crimes. Very common back in those kind of days. Anyway, the Manhattan Project had a secret government weapons program, and for some reason I have lost the ability to speak. It moves into his town, and for some reason, because the lead scientist wants to date his mom, he decides to show him around, give him a guided tour and everything, make him feel special, so his mom will be more appreciative and everything. His mom was the real estate agent who helped him find his condo and everything. So anyway, the kid though is very smart, so he knows a people will treat him like a dumb kid. Something that I found very intelligent, being so self-aware, was very brilliant for this movie. The kid knows that what they have is plutonium. He knows they have something really bad there, and for some reason, even though he's still a kid, so winning the science project is all he wants. Okay, and so this kid decides to win the science fair by making a nuclear bomb based on the materials that he got from this company. Okay, he was able to steal it in a very good, very funny solo thief heist version of the movie. Very good movie. I mean, as you can tell, I love this movie. It was great. But you know what? For such a serious issue, they took such a light-hearted approach to everything. Now you gotta remember, this is high school and it's 80s high school. Those things were very different back then. It wasn't uncommon for someone to be like, hey, I'm a teenage and I'm smoking. And guess who's smoking? Cynthia Nixon. You have to remember, she was a teenager back then, and boy, was she a hottie. She's still a hottie. I don't think the girl ever had an ugly day in her life, but wow, was she ever good looking back then. As you can tell, I really like that. Yeah, it was his girlfriend. The interesting part about this movie, another thing, was they did not go down the normal part that a high school movie goes through. He's not being bullied by people. Every high school this movie you ever see, the hero is being bullied by somebody, and for him being a genius, he wasn't bullied. If anything, he was very much an anti-protagonist more than a protagonist. But they balanced it kind of delicately. That he was, both a good guy, but he was doing something very bad. But it never occurred to him. Now, I'm going to give away one big spoiler here. And that is, why make a movie like this? And in some ways, what you have here is our hero. At one point, near the end of the movie, he is cornered. The other people thought they had the upper hand on him because they were able to get an x-ray of the bomb, and they realized the bomb was not put together. So when they cornered him, he puts the bomb together, and he comes to the revelation, and this is the revelation of what we hope a person would be, not the government, not the country. Now the country has the bomb, but now you have this person who has the bomb, and he has the key. And he says to the mentor, the scientist, he says to him, I don't think I can turn this key. And that's what this movie is all about. Yes, we can do it. Yes, we can build the bomb. But we're not sure if we can really turn the key and blow everyone up. In other words, that's the thing. Because he knows this bomb would blow up his whole city. So his mom, his friends, his girlfriend, they would all be dead. All he has to do is turn the key. And that's kind of like what the nuclear bomb is about. I think the nuclear bomb is one of those things that we forget to be afraid of. We forget that there are still nuclear bombs out there. The inventory may have gone down, but their threat has not. And I think the Manhattan Project brings that to light again. One of the weird things about it, though, the thing I can't understand, the music. The music kills me. That's such light-hearted music. You do not get the impression that this guy and this girl, who have an atomic bomb on them, are doing anything serious because the music plays like they're going out for a picnic. I mean, it was the craziest thing in the world for me to listen to the music. That said, one more interesting part. It goes without saying, kids, don't try this at home, because if you watch the movie, yes, the kid is carrying around an atomic bomb and it's hot, so it's radioactive. Does he get radioactive sickness? No. Does he get any kind of problems, like dead? No. So for some reason, this was made very, very good, but very juvenile. It's still a kids movie, I guess. I mean, it's innocent, They have some fun moments, but nothing you can't bring your kids to. Just remind your kids, if they ever get their hands on weapons-grade plutonium, don't make a nuclear bomb. I guess that's the moral of the story. But you know what? Maybe we shouldn't be making nuclear bombs. Maybe that's the problem. And you know what? It's very interesting to watch this movie because it's very pre-X-Files, before scandals. The government was still treated as somewhat of a good guy. They weren't really going to do anything to him, even though he should have been arrested and, in jail for stealing plutonium and making a bomb. But you know what? What are you going to do? If you ever have a moment, don't delay. See it. This is a movie that you will enjoy. It's funny. And it's so funny. It's not laugh out loud funny until you think about it, because there's no witty remarks as much as there are, the funny situations. It's the overall context of this movie is just bizarre. It's not treated bizarre. They try to treat it as being something very normal, something very natural, and yet it just happened. But you have to see it to understand. So don't delay. If you have a chance and it's on Netflix, I recommend you see The Manhattan Project. Okay, guys? Until then, we'll see you at the theaters. Take care.